Radioactive.fm, and that is Vincent HL. It's 10 a.m. and Breakfast Show hasn't finished. It's going to be extended this morning for a very special guest in studio. New Zealand born, soon to be UK based, Nadia Reid has attained global success off the back of her first two albums, Listen to Formation, Look for the Signs, and of course Preservation, released in 2017. Her prolific writing and touring have seen her present at some of the world's most respected music platforms, namely WOMAD, Green Man Festival in the UK, End of the Road Festival, and a television appearance on BBC's Later with Jules Holland. She was a finalist for both the APRA Silver Scroll Awards in 2017 and the Tape Music Prize in 2016 and 2018, with sellout shows across Auckland, London, Melbourne, and of course her hometown Port Chalmers and Dunedin, and a record 3 under her belt, ready to release in 2020. There's so much to discuss. I'm really excited to have you in studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're also about to be playing a show tonight at City Gallery, and it's already sold out.
Yeah, I'm excited about returning to the gallery. It's I think it's like the world's most organised concert I've ever played at. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful event.
And you played, of course, there last year.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm back so early, but
I got to see you at a really beautiful show at Koto. It was a lovely, very intimate setting. Are those performances that you enjoy more, where you've got a smaller audience and you can kind of engage with on their level, not necessarily even on a stage?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, that was a special night. I think what it comes down to is just the level of care. Like, there was so much care put into that show, from the flowers and it's the same with the City Gallery. There's so much care put into the curation of the show, and so when I don't know if it's to do with size, but it's to do with, I guess, the people involved.
Everyone was so quiet before you sang. It was just it was really beautiful.
At the Koto?
Yeah, at the Koto show.
Yeah, I was very lucky to do that.
And you were dressed in one of their beautiful outfits as well.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. They're a really big fan of you, that ethical clothing store. Now, you're about to move to Bristol. You've regularly sold out shows in London, and of course got that really prolific acknowledgement from Mojo magazine, which we know is a very famous music magazine publication in the UK, and they acknowledged you to be at number 2 for Preservation in the Album of the Year category. So it's fair to say you've got big fans in the UK. Is that kind of part of the draw to move there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually half English, so I want to go and live there, aside from music, but yes, also on the other hand, I when we've toured in the UK, we've had good shows, and I love playing there. Yeah. So part of it's career, and part of the move is just a human thing. Yeah.
Family connection.
Yeah, and just figuring out, just doing the thing that some people like to do, leave New Zealand for a little bit and see what happens.
So we don't know how long you'll be there for. We'll just wait and see.
Wait and see, yeah.
And that move will also coincide with the release of your new album. We're going to be able to hear a beautiful track off that, but let's rewind back to 2015, a song from Listen to Formation, Look for the Signs. You've chosen Runway this morning for us. It's a love song, isn't it?
A little bit of love song, and it actually was written here it began on the tarmac on Wellington Airport after a life-threatening landing, I thought, which is ironic because last night we had another one of those landings.
Full circle.
So I'm getting better and better with that. I just sort of I take a Valium tablet, and
You're a nervous flyer.
But yeah, it's a little bit of a love song too. So this is called Runway. I'll just launch in, eh? Cool. When I hit the ground in all my glory, I will know where I have come from. In the shadow of the doubt that meets the morning, I have come and I have faced it. And in the time it took to really understand him, well, I bore witness to who he grew to be. I will never know why a good man will go, a bird will fall from the sky that she was made for, a heart will beat out of fear of its defeat. The love you left behind will no longer stand to be. And when I hit the runway in my armor, I will know what I am made of. And in the arms of my daughter comes an answer I have seen, what she will know. I will never know why a good man will die, a bird will fall from the sky that she was made for, a heart will beat out of fear of its defeat. The love you left behind will no longer stand to be. When I hit the ground in all my glory, I will know where I have come from. In the shadow of the doubt that meets the morning, I have come and I have known.
Such a treat. Thank you, Nadia. It was beautiful. That is Runway from your album, released in 2015. And a classic Wellington song. You'll probably be playing that tonight, won't you?
Maybe.
Yeah. I love the stories that you tell before the songs that you play often in your shows. And that is a story, quite funnily, that came out of a New Year's Eve that you spent in Levin.
Yeah.
And that's kind of going to segue into the next song
Yeah.
that you're going to be playing for us, All of My Love. What's it like spending New Year's in Levin? I haven't done it myself.
Well, it was in a big music party, New Year's party. So it was, I don't know. It's one of those things I don't know, maybe want to do once. I don't mean to be rude. But I mean, it's funny because it's not really about living at all, but it's kind of nice to.
It's about the journey, isn't it?
Well, it's just nice to kind of offend people a little bit, to wake them, to kind of make things interesting. So I like being a bit rude about people's hometowns and.
Yeah, it's a Kiwiism, I guess. People very much enjoy that. I got to see you on Friday the 15th of March at WOMAD.
Oh, wow.
Which was obviously a horrific day for our nation, and you were asked to come out there and sing, and of course WOMAD in New Plymouth, an enormous celebration of diversity, and many people celebrating the birthday of WOMAD travelled all the way there, and you had the difficult challenge of performing that night, and that I believe the MC introduced you as having the voice of an angel, and he said, they said, we all need angels, all the angels that we can get right now.
Yeah.
What was that like, having to play in that situation? What was your position that evening?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite surreal, actually. Like everyone, we had a very sort of strange couple of hours leading up. But just before we went on, my bass player, Richie, said, he said, the only thing I feel like doing right now is playing music. And I think we all felt that way. So we just did it. Yeah. And I think it was important that that festival just happened and carried on. Yeah, I mean, it was, kind of surreal, really, thinking about it.
Do you find it difficult to sing in those highly emotional moments, or do you find yourself feeling somewhere else or compartmentalising in a way?
Well, I've never had to do that before. That was such a unique experience. But I felt that I had a job to do, and I mean, it kind of, I was nervous about the show anyway, but what had happened just put everything in perspective. I think people really valued us doing the set.
Yeah, they did. And I think the general consensus was that there was nowhere else that anyone else would want to be but WOMAD at that moment, that music definitely brought people together in that space. And it was weird, having really enjoying music and then being reminded of what had just happened, and going through the throes of that and being like, oh, should we be dancing? Should we be enjoying ourselves, or should we really be in mourning? It was it would have been an interesting position for you as an artist as well, no doubt.
Well, I just felt very privileged to be doing that. I mean, it feels like a bit of a hazy dream thinking back.
With music comes privilege, and you are so acclaimed now. Your career has certainly skyrocketed, and a lot of people from home are wanting to jump on that bandwagon and kind of get you involved and stuck in as many New Zealand events as you can possibly. And part of that, no doubt, is the mentorship program that they were running in Dunedin, and you got to go in and have some time with students and educate them about your songwriting process. What did you learn, and what did they learn from that?
Well, that was a really cool experience. I was, I live in Dunedin at the moment, and I had heaps of time on my hands, and this opportunity came up to run this program called the Amped Music Project, which is mentorship program. And so I just hung out with these kind of 20 of these high school students, and it was amazing. I just got to know these young kids. Well, they're not kids, but they're like passionate young people, and so I curated a program for them and brought in some industry people, and I basically just oversaw the project, and I mean, it was amazing. I'd love to do more of that, but I don't have the time to do it all the time. But I don't know what I learnt from them. I guess I learnt the importance of having a platform like that for young people, and how important. I mean, music basically saved me during high school.
Was it a difficult time?
Well, as much as
anybody,
it's like pretty awful most of the time. So music. I had amazing music teachers, and it saved me. So I think I'm passionate about music.
It would be really interesting curating that kind of program as well, based on, I guess, for you, just organising all of that knowledge that you've learned and realising that actually you've got a lot to give back to young people as well. Yeah.
I mean, I put together a program based on what I would have wanted to know at age, 17, 16.
And didn't some music teachers get it wrong?
Yeah. Well, I actually know I'm lucky because I had two amazing music teachers. But yeah.
Well, no doubt this new generation is lucky to have you. Well, let's hear this beautiful song that came out of a trip that you had to live in, called All of My Love, and it's going to be on your brand new album, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't wait.
And I'm singing this song with the APO on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Which I'm quite nervous about. So Alex Taylor has arranged a version of this song. So I don't know if it's being filmed or anything, but it'll be an experience. Yeah. Okay. You took me to live in. You asked me to love you over aching. I can't explain it. Deeper than words is our love. Driving us home over the old road that your father drove your family on. Something about starting a family, a girl for your mother, a boy for me. Then something becomes familiar. You saw it in her eyes. You will see it again. All of my love is staring at your heart. I don't want to believe in it. I don't want to be apart from our love. From our love. And I feel that you are changing me. I cannot decipher exactly what that means. Something about how that baby came. Let's meet in the summer, start over again, and all of my love. You have all of my love. Then something becomes familiar. You saw it in her eyes. You will see it again. All of my love is staring at your heart. I don't want to believe in it. I don't want to be to stand stead, I kept you closer to me.
Thank you, Nadia. That track is called All of My Love, and that's going to be on your brand new album, which we're not allowed to know the title of yet, to be released next year.
Yep.
And is there a general kind of theme running throughout that album? What are the songs that you've been writing recently sounding like?
Well, the most I can say is that the record was made in Richmond, Virginia, and I had the luxury of having the opportunity to work with some strings and horns and a whole lot of special people. So there's strings and horns on the record.
Which hasn't been done before. So it's going to be...
Not to this extent.
Yeah, not like this, yeah. So maybe the sounds will be a lot more layered.
Yeah.
And do you think that the band might get larger as you perform that live?
Well, for this tour in July, we've added a band member, a violin player called Anita Clark. So slowly, yeah. I mean, 5's a good number. You don't really want more than 5. But
and Anita, obviously coming out of Christchurch as well. Will she be touring with you? Will the whole band actually be moving to you when you move with your husband to the UK?
Probably not. But Sam Taylor, who plays guitar with me, he will probably still come and play. But everyone else lives here, so I don't know. Yeah, it kind of depends. It's a long way to go, so it depends on a few things. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Those are conversations yet to be had.
Yeah.
I'm just prying.
Yeah.
And so that's obviously going to be released in 2020, but let's think more current. You're going to be performing a show for those who've missed out on tickets to the City Gallery event on the 18th of July with the band, and incredible poster design as well. Really loving it. And that's going to be at San Fran, and tickets can be bought from banishedmusic.com.
Yeah.
And of course, Anita will be performing her solo project as well before.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
Motte?
Yeah, I think it goes a little bit more of an accent on the E. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to ring her later and find out. But she's a beautiful singer and musician, and I'm so happy she agreed to join the band for this tour. And so yeah, it'd be nice to have another woman.
You always seem to find people that are just on the fringes of becoming well known. Like, are you always quite invested in the current music scene in New Zealand and always listening to new acts?
Not really.
Not really? Yeah.
I like working with my friends, or not my friends, but people I admire. If I like their work, I'd have a respect for them. I struggle sometimes with. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. Basically, I've known Anita for years, and I've admired her for years, and I just reached out to her. Yeah, and I've had the same band for a long time too, so I'm kind of I like to go along with people. Yeah.
And forming those relationships and kind of keeping them long, because she'll be joining you across your Australian and New Zealand tour.
Yeah. And if she likes us after that, hopefully in the future too, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I have a very strong bond with the guys that I play with, and it's taken many years to create what we do, and that comes down to just our connection with each other. Yeah,
and working relationships.
Yeah.
Well, we're so lucky to have you playing tonight at City Gallery, and of course there'll be some Radioactive DJs there as well, but thank you for joining us on Breakfast and making time.
Cool. My pleasure. Thanks for having me out.
And we'll see you in July in Wellington. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks. It's so special.